Hi, everybody, and welcome to the 65th instalment of ASMR Drawing. I don't think I've said that for a while, but I've just checked and it is definitely 65 videos now. You join me in almost like a kind of vlog, blog, update, post, in that I'm not filming and recording at the same time, and I'm also not doing the recording after the video. I haven't recorded the video yet. I'm going to do it later today, but schedule wise it was easier for me to record the sound now and then record the video later. You actually joined me in the queue for Black Sabbath tickets. If anyone's aware, or if anyone's in the UK, you may have heard that Black Sabbath are doing like a final show, even though apparently their actual final show was about 10 years ago. But they're doing a new one now. And to be honest, I'm not quite sure how able Ozzy Osbourne is to do this kind of thing anymore. But still, me and a few friends are in the queue, and if I check it now, I've been stuck at 18,033 for a while, but a friend of mine is on like 400, and we've said that our upper limit for these tickets would be like 200 quid because the lineup is insane. There's like Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, and I should point out the original lineup of Black Sabbath too. There's like Metallica, Slayer, Pantera, Lamb of God, Alice in Chains, various others, and then like a super group made up of like Tom Morello, Slash, Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins, etc, etc, etc. And who knows what they're going to do. So we're waiting, but then my friend just made a point that maybe the tickets are like thousands of pounds and everyone's backing out at the last minute, which I'm definitely not spending £1,000. I'd spend 200 to 250, and that's a lot. I can barely afford that, if I'm perfectly honest. But anyway, I'll keep you updated as it goes on. If anything changes, we're still at 18,033, so I've got little chance. I think there's a 40,000 capacity at the Birmingham Arena. But assuming we don't get tickets here, I'm going to buy myself tickets to Napalm Death, Full of Hell, Crowbar and Brat, who are also playing in Birmingham in a couple of weeks. If you're not into metal music, then I'm sorry. This probably makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But anyway, I'm aware, as usual, I've not been up to date with the uploads recently. It's mainly because of my living situation at the minute. There's nothing wrong with my living situation, it's all good. It's just with that and my schedule, it's quite difficult to make videos, as I like being home alone when I make videos, and I don't get a lot of home alone time at the minute. I've also just got a new job that I start in a couple of weeks, a new day job, which hopefully will give me, it'll probably actually give me less free time, but it's a job that is more aligned with my interests and my passions, and should hopefully maybe be the start of a good career in something that I'm really interested in. So, in fact, similar to what I was just talking about, it's actually, in a way, in the music industry. Nothing crazy, but it's a foot in the door, you know. So, hopefully that works out. But yeah, so a lot of exciting things going on at the minute. I've also become absolutely obsessed and in love with playing snooker, and I've always been a moderate fan of pool, but last 6 months I've become really obsessed with playing pool, and that's extended to snooker as well. Been doing that quite a lot recently. I play in a band now, and go to the pub quiz every week, so pub quiz, snooker and band rehearsal is my life at the minute, really. And still doing art, still drawing. I gave myself a little holiday, so the big drawing that I should be doing right now, what you're watching me draw, has been going on for years, but I've been really kind of slamming it recently, trying to get it done as quickly as possible, just to kind of get it out of the way and off my back. Because I want to move on to different things. I've been doing it for a long time now, and it'll be awesome when it's done. It's probably like the best thing I've ever drawn in my life, but yeah, I want to move on now, and I want to start on my, I basically want to start on a graphic novel, because I've had it in my head for years that I want to do a full graphic novel, so now's the time. I just need to do it. Yeah, but anyway, I gave myself a little holiday off this big drawing for a couple of weeks, mainly because I had a few little commissions come in that I wanted to spend some time on, but also it was doing my head in a bit, just the same kind of thing over and over again. And also I've been finding it quite daunting, because not far above where I imagine I'm drawing now, I haven't penciled it out too well, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do, so I've got to pencil it out, which is it just takes more and more time. I was hoping to get it done for the start of April, to coincide with like the tax year, and well, it's for a relative. They know they've commissioned me to do it, but it's their birthday. It's not for their birthday, but it'd be nice to give it to them for their birthday in April. It coincides, quite nicely with the tax year, so hopefully. But again, that's not much time. That's only a month and a half. But it was nice to have a bit of a break, because I was working on it last night, and sometimes I really forget how much I enjoy just sitting, drawing, working, chipping away at something like this, with ASMR in the background, or maybe music in the background with my headphones on. It gets me. It's very, it's nice to concentrate on, really. Still at 18,033, and as far as I'm aware, my friend is actually at 492. So he's a little bit closer to getting the tickets, but I'm also I'm trying this year to read all of my big books. I read a fair amount, I'd say, and last year I read 34 books, but they were all quite small, to be honest. Oh, not small, but 200, 300 pages, and I was purposely avoiding the bigger books, because obviously they take longer to read. So I've decided this year I'm only setting myself a goal of 10 books, but they're going to be the big ones, all 500, 600 page plus. And I've just the other day finished reading a Jackie Kennedy Onassis biography, and which I found interesting. I think if you weren't into that era of history, it would be pretty dry, that book, but I, for some reason, find the Kennedys and Jackie and all of that and the assassination super interesting, so it was interesting to me. But yeah, like I say, if you weren't into this, it would be a bit boring. But it was good. I feel like right now I could do a fairly good mastermind round on Jackie Kennedy. I'm not very good at remembering the names. There were so many friends and people who worked for them that I can't remember. Or the names would just pop up. But what I'll do find interesting is the Kennedy curse. Seems lots of members of that family have basically just died. Oh, excuse me, sorry, I'll just update, because I've just seen a message saying that tickets have been priced between £200 and £800. Wow. But tickets are now limited, but I'm still stuck on 18,000. Anyway, the Kennedy curse. So obviously, well, JFK was one of 8 or 9, I think. The oldest brother died in the war in like a really fruitless mission on a plane over the UK. I think he was, or was he? I'm not sure. Anyway, he got shot down, but as far as I'm aware, I think it was quite a fruitless mission. One of his sisters was killed also in a plane crash, I think, over France. His other sister was, I think, not even that much, but like a little bit developmentally disabled. And then they lobotomized her in the most horrific way possible. I won't go into that, you can Google it if you... I think her name was Rose Kennedy? That was the mum was Rose. I can't remember. Anyway, just Google Kennedy sister lobotomy, you'll find it. And obviously JFK got shot, Bobby Kennedy got shot. I think the rest of the siblings were okay. Lots of Bobby Kennedys, some of his... he had 11 kids. One of them died in a skiing accident. I think one of them died from an overdose. A couple of them, including some of Peter Lawford's kids, because he was married to Jean Kennedy, got involved in heroin and drugs and, you know, a different pace of life in that sense. And to be honest, Jackie died young. Jackie was 64 when she died, kind of prematurely, and she was moderately healthy, pretty physically fit, but I think she chain smoked like all her life and drank, not to excess. But obviously JFK died, then Aristotle Onassis died, but he was like 75. But obviously she outlived 2 husbands. And then her son, 4 or 5 years after, she died in 94, and then I think in 99, her son, John F. Kennedy Jr., died in a plane crash with his wife and her sister. I know, hopefully the curse is kind of lifted now, because JFK and Jackie's daughter Caroline has 3 children who are kind of a little bit older than me, in their like early 30s. They all seem to be doing pretty well. Hopefully the curse doesn't extend to them. But anyway, yeah, the Kennedy curse. Anyway, now I've just been reading it before this video, The Bonfire of the Vanities by Tom Wolfe. I've been kind of interested to read this for a while. It's been on my shelf. I found it in a, you're aware of, people in the UK know what a charity shop is. I guess if you're in the US, you would also know what a charity shop is, I guess. What would you... Goodwill. I guess Goodwills? We have Oxfams and other things. Anyway, it was like a massive superstore of an Oxfam. And filled with loads of second-hand stuff. And there's a huge book section, and I got this and something else, or I might have just got this. Anyway, it cost me £1. It's a big book. It's like 600 pages, 700 pages. And I wanted to read some fiction after the non-fiction with Jackie O. And yeah, I started it yesterday. I'm about 50 pages through, and it's really good. It's kind of that almost like American Psycho era of New York in the 80s. Like Wall Street. I'm now 17,300 in the queue. I've just skipped ahead 1,000. Anyway, I assume everyone else was stuck as well. Anyway, yeah, like Wall Street in the 80s. It's, I think it's, I'm not 100% sure of what's going to happen so far, but as far as I'm aware, it's like this high-flying Wall Street finance bro in his late 30s, wife and kid. He's having an affair with a woman called Maria. And the way it's written is really like quite satirical and punchy. It's quite funny, really. And you're almost following. So far, he's this Wall Street guy, but he's almost like a bit of a calamitous figure. He keeps messing up and making a fool of himself, and he's a dickhead, really, let's be honest. And as far as I'm aware, I've read this on the blurb, so it's not giving too much away. He's driving in a car with his girlfriend, and he runs over. He's driving in the Bronx, and he runs over a black man, and I think does he kill him? No, he's in a coma. He puts him in a coma, and I think it just like leads to the unravelling of his life, in this kind of comedic, satirical way in New York in the 80s. But no, I'm really enjoying it. It hasn't got to the part where he runs the poor guy over yet, but assuming we'll get there soon, because he's kind of living life on the edge, this guy. But no, it's good. I think, like I said, I don't mean this isn't a flex, but I really like reading. I think I read quite a lot. I think I read more than the average person. And I've got quite a lot of books. I like collecting books. I've got about 500. Of about half that I've read. Oh. Sorry, I'm just getting a message about these tickets. I think my friend has entered the mainframe. Looks like he's been able to get some tickets, but only there's only VIP left. Sorry, I'm just replying. If you've made it this far in the video, then thank you anyway. Oh, excuse me, someone's knocking at my door. Sorry, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I answered the door, and it was two very friendly Jehovah's Witnesses who gave me a card, and it was about some kind of home Bible study thing. I'm not religious whatsoever, and I'm not interested in that, but I usually just do the classic, I've got a work meeting in 2 minutes, and then I have a reason to go. Often, I haven't answered the door to a Jehovah's Witness in a while, but as in, one hasn't come to the house. I don't tend to ignore people. I just say I'm not religious, sorry, and that's the end of that. But I read some interesting things about the Jehovah's Witness faith recently that, I wasn't interested anyway, but really put me off. Anyway, I won't go into that now. I'm now 11,000 in the queue, and my friend who got there was only VIP packages left, but then it seemed like there was regular tickets left, and they were £180. And then he looked, and they'd gone up to £700. So if we were super rich, it would have been fine, but unfortunately we're not. So we might have to miss out on Black Sabbath this time, but it was worth a punt, it was worth a go. And I'm glad we tried. At least we gave it a go, I would have been sad to have not got one and not even tried. So it's the taking part that counts, I'm trying to work out roughly how long. I The last one, there we go, was 18 minutes. So if I do another kind of 10-15 minutes of chatting away. I think before this all kicked off I was talking about Bonfire of the Vanities. That was it. I was saying that yeah, I've got all these books and I think I'd quite like to start making videos about them. Not necessarily being a booktuber, but just including it as an arm of the ASMR, really a branch of my ASMR channel. And maybe not necessarily limiting my channel to drawing. Still having the main thrust as drawing, but maybe including some other things. I'm very, very close to being at 5,000 subscribers, so thank you so much, all 5,000 of you, if you're watching. But I also thought maybe between 5 and 10,000 subscribers I'd start a Patreon. But also, starting a Patreon is more dependent on how much time I have, because it would be multiple videos a week, obviously. So I might wait until closer to the 10,000 mark, maybe, however long that will take. And also, when my living situation changes, which should hopefully be in a couple of months, and it would give me way more time for videos. So I could mainly be making multiple a week, 3 or 4 a week, which would be ideal, really, to keep it more consistent and keep my output strong, much stronger than it is now because of circumstance. But yeah, if I just did perhaps the books on the Patreon, or maybe just did a couple of book ones, a couple of cooking ones. I'm not mad into cooking hugely, but I like doing it, and it's often quite relaxing to watch and talk about. I also think next video, I bought a bunch of comics recently from a comic book shop, kind of all super duper cheap. I got them from like the bargain bin. And also my friend left me one, and I'm just looking at this pile of comics now, and I think it would make for a cool video, just like a little tour, because I don't really know I kind of bought them blind. I was just judging them on their cover, although I did get some Transmetropolitan ones, and I do know Transmetropolitan, the comics, because aesthetically they're really good. I feel that I can only really enjoy comics and things like that when I really like the artwork. If I don't like the art, then I'm not really bothered. I'd almost rather just read a book. I don't know what that says about me. But I'm definitely more... This comic shop we went to, kind of out of town, me and 2 friends drove there. It was more superhero-y comics. And lots of manga, which isn't really my thing. I'd say I'm more into the, like, kind of autobiographical comics, like small press, published. I'm just looking at my kind of graphic novel collection here. I should do a tour of these, really. This would be quite a good tour, because I've got them here. Again, they're all just kind of thrown on one shelf, because where I'm living is kind of temporary. But I've got things like, Simon Hanselman. I've got Dog Biscuits. I've got the 2 Brian Blomworth ones. Mouse is probably my favourite one ever. Everyone should read Mouse. M-A-U-S by Art Spiegelman. Quite a few as many Chris Ware ones as I can afford, to be honest. Rusty Brown and the Jimmy Corrigan one. Some Daniel Clowes, Nick Donasso, some kind of small press ones from the UK. I really like Mobius. His art is just utterly phenomenal. He's maybe one of my favourite artists of all time. The stories are fine, whatever, I'm not that interested in the stories, but his art is ridiculous. Some Luke Healy ones. The most recent one I read was Luke Healy Americana, and I enjoyed it. It was good. But I found him. It's basically a story about him walking the Pacific Crest Trail from Mexico to Canada. And I just found him quite annoying in it. I'm sorry, Luke, if you're listening. I met you actually at Tall Bubble and you're a lovely guy and I really like your work, but I don't know. I'm sorry. And despite what you said, I did find it annoying how you essentially got a train for like a fifth of it. I'm sorry. I've got the Con Artists and another one by you. You're not listening. I'm sure you're not listening to this, but so I'm going to read the Con Artists soon, and also the other one. What's the new one called? It's like Self-Esteem in the End of the World. Maybe I'd like to read that. I feel a bit bad now. I obviously respect what you do hugely. But just at times in Americana, I found you a little bit annoying. I'm going to stop talking about this now. I'm sorry. Yeah, it looks like Black Sabbath tickets aren't happening, unfortunately. I'm actually now 7,000 in the queue, so I'm guessing that a lot of people are getting there, realising they can't buy anything, and then skedaddling. If I just found like £400 under my rug right now, I could just buy myself a VIP ticket. Who knows, maybe I'd even flipping meet Black Sabbath. Some of them were like £3,000. It's utterly insane. The VIP ticket, excuse me, I'm yawning. I am probably going to have to wrap this up fairly soon. I'll try and over the weekend do this comic book haul and try and, expand my newfound interest or my new putting in effort to make videos. My aim with this video, obviously I haven't started it yet, is to film it slightly differently, have a few more dynamic shots and things, and I want to do that a little bit more with the next few videos. I'm going up to visit my uncle later today, and I'm a bit of a nerd for Google Maps and looking where places are, how to get to places, so I'm going to see how long it'll take me. If I can find his house on the map, there it is. Right. How long is it going to take me? It would be a 7-hour walk. 20 miles. That would be a good cycle, actually. An hour and 51 on the bike. I'm going to do that one day. That'd be really good. One day, not today though. 45 minutes in the car. That's easy enough, isn't it? Actually, go that way. 41 minutes in the car. Okay, that's the way I kind of assumed. Oh, no, I'm messing with the map there. Whoops. 41 minutes. Okie dokie. That's fine. I can leave at about 4:45 today. Hopefully there shouldn't be too much traffic. Oh, I love looking at maps so much. Anyway, I shall bid you goodbye and see you schedule permitting, for a little comic book tour of ones that I recently bought. Yeah. So anyone who did get a Black Sabbath ticket, good luck. Congratulations. I'm very jealous. Please sell it to me for a reduced price. And I'll see you at the gig.